Boom. I think we're live.
Boom. We are live. What's up, influencers? I'm actually going to pull up your questions here on my phone. This is a Q&A session. So let me pull it up here, see what you guys are talking about. Anyways, thanks for everyone that watched the last live broadcast. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and jump into questions. If I could find it. Are we live? Are we actually live right now?
Yes, we are.
We are live. Do you have the viewing window? You want to send that to the team?
Yes.
But we're going to be answering some questions. And yeah, let me know if you can see the live. All right. What's the first question, Nuchali?
The first question is by Adam Exploits.
Adam Exploits, okay.
Anyone else having issues with YouTube not sending out the 1 hour and 30-minute notice for live streams? I even went back to the original Creator Studio and I'm still not getting the notification.
And so I'm wondering if this is for you or not. You know, my advice is actually hit up YouTube directly. So on Twitter, obviously, you can do some research. You can ask people like on here. But what I like to do is go to, I think it's Team YouTube. I'm going to look for it right now. And usually maybe on Twitter you could find it. Let's see. YouTube. What is their thing? They actually have Team YouTube. What is that?
Team YouTube.
Is it Team YouTube? It's like a official
this
Twitter.
One right here?
I think so.
Tips, updates, and help.
Yeah, there you go. Team YouTube. So I would hit just leave it there. I would hit up Team YouTube for sure whenever you have any issues with your channel, because I met the person and the team that's behind that, and they're amazing. They really do try to help you, and they're going to know what is actually going on that's affecting that, if there is something going on, or they'll at least try to find out. So hopefully that helps. I can't tell you specifically, why it's not showing up. I wonder, are you asking about my video or your own video? I don't know, but hit me up on Twitter. You can even hit me up directly too. All right, what's the next question?
All right, this is coming in from ZalaTube.
Okay.
Says, as a new YouTuber, the biggest question on my mind, what are the possible upcoming rules to YouTube on 2020? I heard they are increasing watch time and sub needed for monetization.
Oh, so again, I wouldn't be the best person for that. I would ask Team YouTube. I don't know about that at all. You know, let me just tell you about that whole monetization threshold, or what are the minimum requirements. I believe one of the reasons they're doing that is because realize YouTube is a platform that's open to anybody, like anybody in the world, no matter what their motivation, what their goals are, what type of content, can sign up for a YouTube channel. And they used to make it super easy for people to monetize, but there's been issues. People have some inappropriate content, or they have horrible motives, and when ads are running on those type of videos, it can create some PR problems for YouTube. So I believe one of the motivations is to raise the threshold to make it harder for people, really to protect the community. I've never ever thought that YouTube is doing something on purpose to hurt the community or hurt creators. Of course, sometimes they have made mistakes, and both humans and the algorithm aren't perfect. So I'm not sure what the thresholds are. Wouldn't it be surprising if they do something like that? But this is the other thing I'll tell you. Even if you aren't going to be able to sign up for monetization as soon, or it's going to raise a bar, the amount of money that AdSense is going to pay you, even when you have the dopest ads, is nowhere near the monetization can be had when you have other business models. You have your own product you can sell. Maybe you have a course that you can offer. Maybe you can get sponsored by brands. AdSense is such a small percentage for my wife and I, and there's just so many other things you could be doing. I mean, literally from day one, you could even make your own merch. You could sell shirts, you could sell a coffee mug, and you'll make way more money than the AdSense you can get from those ads that show up on your videos, because a lot of people, they're so focused on that, getting that. It's actually better to focus on the value of your content, and if you had to monetize, do it in other ways. And what's going to happen is, as a result of you focusing on the value you're delivering, over time, you're going to get more views. And guess what? Once you get more views, you're going to cross those thresholds for monetization requirements much more quickly, rather than focus on trying to make money through ads. All right. Actually, I'm on here. I wanted to say a special shout out to Michael Groff. Thank you so much for being part of the members program. If you guys don't know, we have a membership. There's a join button down below, so you can join, get some exclusive behind the scenes. We do live streams periodically, or you get special shout outs like this. Michael Goff says, is it a good idea to utilize series in my videos, such as a four-part video series around a niche topic within my niche? Totally. So let me tell you something about series. YouTube's goal is to get people to watch more YouTube videos, period. So when you create a series, you make it easier not only for YouTube to figure out what's the next relevant video to not just suggest, but maybe autoplay, but also for the viewer to know, like what is the most relevant video or what makes sense to watch after this. An example of this, I just did a 3-part interview with a guy named Matt Geelan from Little Monsters YouTube channel. If you guys want to talk about algorithm, go to his channel. He's literally the best I know. And so we broke it up into 3 parts. We've uploaded the first part, and we'll upload the second and third. And what's going to happen is when they watch that first one, I did a call to action to the second one. And in the second one, I did a call to action to the third one. That series, that journey from going to this video, to this video, to this video, I don't want to say it guarantees, but it makes it much more likely that YouTube would recommend those videos to each other. So say somebody stumbles on the third one, it's going to be easier for the algorithm, I believe, to recommend the first one, because people who watch the first one have oftentimes watched the second and the third one if they're really into the algorithm. So definitely, if you have a channel where you can create like a mini series, whether it's 2 to 3 videos or even 10 videos, and they all kind of make sense or complement each other, I would definitely do that, Michael. And even with your title, so on that one we put, what was that? Neutrally, can you pull up the video influencers video library, and we'll actually look at that and click on it. And so we're going to move over to the video influencer screen here in a second. Once we get that popped up, but we created this series. We haven't put out the other 2 parts to it, but it's pretty powerful what the algorithm will do for you when you do that. But of course, the series has to make sense. So go to the videos right there. Neutrally, there you go. And let's look for that video. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit. Right there. Wait 1 second. YouTube. Okay. See where it says YouTube algorithm hacks?
Yes.
Right? Go ahead and click on that. All right. So pause it real quick. All right, you guys. So look at this video. The title says YouTube algorithm hacks. We don't even usually format our titles like this because it's really not best practice. But the reason we did that is because the answer in this is specific to how long your videos should be. Now, the next video we put up, you can actually put it back onto me, will be titled similarly, YouTube algorithm hacks, but the other topic we're covering. So not only am I doing call to action to the next video or to the series playlist, so you can even make a playlist and make it even easier for the algorithm to know these are together, but the title says it too. So people who see the title, they're going to be like, oh, I wonder, this looks like it's part of a playlist. So they might go and seek out the other video. Very powerful. Great question. Let me see. I just want to give some shout outs to the super chats. So Jamal Nolan gave $2. Thank you so much for supporting video influencers. If you guys want to support us number one, you can join our memberships program and support the content that I put out, or give us a super chat. Always love giving you shout outs for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually going back. I still don't see it. Oh, here we go. Finally. All right, let me go to the chats. I want to give some shout outs to you guys. Black Pearl, what up? Mimi and Mickey, hi there, Benji. Filipino couple here based in Dubai. Ooh. Always want to go to Dubai. Yeah, Dubai. I've always wanted to go to Dubai. Jazzy Venture Vlog, Cat Crazy. Nuclearly, if there's any other questions,
sure.
you can get them ready. Go ahead.
Question by Chase Valkyria. How do I know what my target audience age group is?
How do you know what your target audience age group is? So the real question here is, who do you want to actually reach out to? And that would be the age. Now, if you're just asking like, who should I target? I think there's two parts to it. Again, you have to ask yourself, who is it that you want to reach out to in general? But I'd say the most simple answer is usually your own age, right? Like usually you can connect with people that's of your generation the easiest. Maybe you're a teacher though, and you're going to be teaching a younger generation. Again, that's going to be defined by you. Secondly, once you start putting out content, what you might find is you thought you were going to reach this certain age group, but there's this other demographic that actually makes way more sense, and you can see it in your analytics. So on the last live broadcast, I talk about the 10 things that I would do if I started over on YouTube. One of the things I said is data. Look at your data. Look at the analytics of the people actually watching. So, I think it really is based on who you want to connect with. Secondly, like who's going to enjoy your content the most, based on the results you get from your uploads. All right, couple more shout outs here before we go into the last couple questions. Laura Bailey TV, Chase Valkyria. Again, thank you guys so much for supporting. If you've given some super chats, Zia Khan, Neutrally, you got any other questions?
Yes, I have a couple more questions. All right. This one is coming to you by Jazzy Venture Vlogs. He asks, or she asks, is it really necessary that my audience should finish watching the full ad for me to get a high revenue?
I think it all depends on the type of ad. Now, this is the thing. It's definitely a great question, but you can't control this. This is going to be all based on the ad itself. Some ads, people actually need to watch the whole thing, right? Some ads, not necessarily. So, there's actual like YouTube blogs that talk about this and go into depth, but that result is going to be dependent on the person putting out the ad. So, there's not really anything. Unless you're going to go, and I think this might be against the terms of service, but you can't like force people to watch ads or even ask them to, I guess if you wanted to. It's like, yeah, before you watch my videos, make sure you watch all of the ad. But still, fun question. All right. Yeah. Another question? And sorry, you guys, I would show neutrally, but literally I'm working off of one camera today. We only have one, so that's why you get the voice of God right now. And his voice.
Oh yeah. All right. This one question is coming from Cool Tips. Can you please talk about the retention rate?
Retention rate. So, or as I say, and a lot of other people, audience retention. So audience retention is literally how much of your video do you keep people's attention. So I always try to use easy math here. If you have a 10-minute video, how much of that video are people watching? So if it's 5 minutes of that 10-minute video, the audience retention is 50%. If people are watching 8 minutes, that's 80%. And so the goal here is to get people to watch as much of the video as possible. Oftentimes that's not the case. For some of the most successful creators, that is the case. And what you're trying to do is get it to be a majority. Now, if you got a really long video, like my wife and I, we do vlogs, and that's 20 minutes. Audience retention is still important, but it's not as important as the second thing to consider, which is watch time. So say you've got a 5-minute video and you get people to watch 4 minutes of it. Well, if if that is that, I think that's 80% audience retention, 4 out of 5 minutes, right? That's pretty good. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I haven't done math in a while. All right. 80% audience retention. But say our 20-minute vlog, we get people watching 50% of it, which is going to be 10 minutes. Now, technically, the audience retention isn't as good. So they're watching more in terms of percentage of the 5-minute video versus half of our 20-minute video. But the watch time is 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is definitely way, way better in terms of YouTube's eyes. Now, they probably, weigh it. I think the takeaway is this. Why audience retention is something you want to look at is because you want to see where that audience retention is at. And in your YouTube studio, you can actually see not only where the audience retention stops, you can see what's in the video that's causing people to be disinterested or to jump to another video. That's how they come up with that percentage. They take the average amount of viewers and they see where they jump off. Some people might jump off at 2 minutes. Some people might jump off at 8 minutes, and they just do the average and they come down, right? Ask yourself what's going on in that video. So when you move that cursor to where that drop off is, you can see like, oh, I was talking about this thing. Maybe it wasn't actually relevant to the topic I was covering. Or this is where in my vlog, I was just recapping the day. I have a friend actually that did this. He had a recap session with his wife at the end of the day. They would sit down in front of the camera and just talk about the day. Well, his audience retention was showing like people weren't interested in it. People would like click out. So what he did, he didn't ever add that to the vlog anymore. So they didn't even record it because obviously that wasn't valuable enough. They didn't think that was interesting. So what happens is he starts squeezing the videos in, trying to get that audience retention from 50% to 80% to 90% to the point where literally people are watching like almost 100% audience retention. Then what he would do is slowly lengthen those videos to get that watch time up. Neutrally, let's take one more question and we're going to call it a day. One thing I want to mention, you guys, we do these live broadcasts every single Saturday. I might be in a different country next Saturday. We'll see what happens. But if you guys like this, make sure you hit that like button in the comments below because I will reply back after this. Let me know what topics do you want to cover? What guests do you want me to have on? Last week we had an amazing guest, Guy Cochran from dvestore.com. So would love to do more of those. I just want to know what YouTubers you want me to hit up because I do have some connections, have some friends who could get me connected to people I don't know, and I would love to add more value by having guests that are way smarter, way more successful, way more experience on here to answer your questions. All right, Neutrally.
All right.
What is the last one?
Last question is by Crypto Change.
Okay.
Can you please
Crypto.
ask why a big interview like with John McAfee doesn't help one's channel grow a lot? John McAfee did tweet it. Thanks.
All right. That's a great question because I'm sure a lot of you can relate. You know, you have this video, you just assume it's going to do really well, and for whatever reason, it doesn't. So many variables that could be affecting it. But let's isolate it to you interviewing this person. Yes, this person is famous, but maybe it didn't get attention because maybe that person, even though they're famous, wasn't relevant for your audience. But maybe that person is relevant for your audience. Why didn't it get? Maybe the actual interview, it took too long to get to the point. Maybe you guys got into it and you didn't actually get to the questions and get the answers that your audience or any audience that would be interested in him wanted. Maybe it dragged on. Now, maybe it was isolated, right? And maybe it was to the point, maybe it was great content, but maybe the thumbnail wasn't really that good. Maybe they didn't represent what was in the content and get people curious about what he was talking about. Maybe the title wasn't relevant. Maybe you didn't optimize at all or give any data. You know, we talk about how tags are less relevant these days, but I have heard from people at YouTube, you still want to use the tags, especially when your channel just starting out. So tons of variables there, but there's no guarantee. By the way, we've had really famous people like really famous people. Like we went above and beyond to interview them, to thinking like this would be great for our audience. This is going to go viral. That didn't go anywhere. So sometimes it just doesn't hit. Maybe the reason they're viral or that they get views is because they upload a certain type of content on their channel, but people really don't care about what they have to say in an interview. It's like, you never know, but great question. I'd say, again, think about what is the intention of your viewers or the intention of people that see that thumbnail and title. And when they go there, what are they expecting? Are they getting that expectation? Are you fulfilling that intention people have when they get to that content? If you're fulfilling that and doing that and it's all aligned and your subscribers, you're subscribed for a certain reason and that interview does it, then you're going to hit. Then that's when you're going to get those views and you're going to be able to leverage and utilize that purpose famedom to actually get traction. But if it's not, again, lots of different variables for it. You guys, I love doing these Q&As. I love going live on Saturdays. Leave those comments and questions you want me to answer. And have a great weekend. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.